Hello and welcome to another WaterWar replay. This time I have two replays for you. The first one is in my STA1 on Arctic region. It's a 10-9 game and I'm platooned off with Runaway Kim as always. And the two replays I'm going to show you today will not be anything extraordinary in that sense, but I've chosen them because there was a discussion on WaterLabs about what makes a good game for us purple posters or super unis, or also just standard unis, unicums. And a lot of us said that it is a good game for us, and this also comes from me. It's a game where something interesting happens. It's not just, ROFLstomps are never fun, and I mean both being ROFLstomped and also giving out the ROFLstomp is never. It's not a good game. Like, it's just a game to get it over with. But I like games where you work together with your platoon mate. In this particular case, and the next video will show you where you use your tank to the utmost to flank and work together with your teammates and all of those kinds of things. Really just like play the game on a more strategic level. But yeah, that you can see in the second hand, because now we have a game on our hands, and me and Runaway, we are in our STA 1 and 2s respectively, and we first decided to go north, but then we discussed on TeamSpeak that it's not good to stay there because they have VZ 120, T54A1, T44, AMX CDC, Type 62 and Lorraine, i.e. a lot of tanks, and it was just us and two Tier 7 tanks and a Centurion, but the Senti died instantly. So now we go, okay, let's fall back and defend the base. There was also Arty, another reason for us to fall back. So we now both sit back here. We were trying to tell this IS to fall back, or the Runaway was using the in-game commands, but the IS is quite happy to just sit there. So here we now begin to take shots as the enemies they move in. Oh, and this zooming out stuff, it's something World of Tanks is doing, not something I'm doing. I don't know why it's doing that. It's something with the replay. Yeah, that was just a poor shot for me. I'm really just I don't know what I did there. That was part of the camera shake was me, and the other part was the replay. But yeah, so now you can see me and Runaway, we've just set up here. And we're trying to fend them off. We're using the excellent gun depression of our two tanks to just deal the damage. And we're communicating on TeamSpeak to focus a target, and I'm asking him, like, I notice when he's firing, when I'm firing, so that we're not in front of each other's gun. Or rather, I'm not in front of his shot. Because our reloads is basically the same, so we can basically sit as a little seesaw where I pull forward and shoot, he pulls back. Oh sorry, I pull forward and shoot, I pull back, he pulls forward and shoots, and then by the time he's pulled back, I'm reloaded and I pull forward again. But yeah, we managed to kill a Lorraine and quite a few tanks moving up, and now this CDC decided to go around, and we decided to just go in after him. Share the health a bit. We have the same health, so now we're just like DPMing him down. I auto-aim because it's a CDC, and I don't need proper aiming there. So he rushes in and dies. And then we notice the T44 has shown up, so we decided to work him down as well. And he has the 122mm. Now T54A1, and now we're going, okay, he can't clip us all out, so let us just share the health. So he was fired once, now I go forward to see if he can shoot me. He fired twice. So now, like, Runaway has taken 2 shots and I've taken 1. So now I just sit here trying to make him shoot me, because he should have another shot ready. And the reason you saw me pull back there was because Runaway had a shot, and he told me to just pull back quickly, and I didn't pull back. So there we go, now we killed him, and we I turn around to deal with the VZ, and Runaway goes after the T-44. Now it's basically cleanup duty. And during this whole time we were communicating on TeamSpeak about who to focus, where to go, stuff like that. So that's like, the game is now almost done. There's not that much to do left. Now I'm just sitting here trying to make the VZ shoot or fire. He did, and he missed, so now I move up. And I just move all the way up to make sure I hit. And then I hit his upper plate. But I mean, it's not a big problem. He then turns the side to me and I have a tiny little ass sliver to shoot. So I do, so he dies. And Runaway finishes off the T-44. So as you can see, it was not really like a monster game for me. Runaway had a good game. He got 3.7, 3.5k damage. I got 2 point something. But it was just, for us on TeamSpeak, that was a excellent teamwork. Like, we were just communicating efficiently, calling targets, working together, and that for me is one way to have a good game. And it's Black Prince, he did well defending as well. So like, it looked like they had a strong, I mean they had complete map control, but because we were sitting on that little corner, arty-safe and everything, they had a hard time pushing in to us, because we could shoot them as they were moving up. And that meant that we turned it around and won in the end. And now, I mean, now we're just waiting to kill the tank, or the last arty. And the IS-3 is sacrificed to the RNG gods. There we go. And then we kill him. So yeah, this is one type of game that I count as a good game. And I'll now show you the post-game stats just so you can see them. And then I'll swap over to the Pershing game so you can see that as well. So here you go, here are the post-game screenshots for the STA game. And then, yeah, Pershing will come up after that. And here we have the Pershing, or the Pershing game. I'm, yeah, in the Pershing, obviously. It's Mountain Pass, Standard Battle, and it's a tier 9 game, but not really. Like, it's basically just a butt ton of tier 8s, a tier 7 scout, and then 2 tier 9s on either team. Oh yeah, that shot there was just, I was at the time testing my headphones. I thought they were not working, so I fired up in the air, but they were. Notice that this time I'm playing solo, which happens quite rarely, but it can happen. And this was one of my last games in my Pershing, because now I have unlocked the pattern, just today actually. So you will not be seeing any more Pershing games, but hopefully you'll see some pattern games soon. But anyway, back to the game. I move up. The T-71 decides to push up aggressively, and I like to sit on this position here, because you can stop the T-71 from doing any meaningful damage. Oh, not any meaningful damage, just like if you're quick enough. The Pershing is not a quick tank, but if you have a quicker tank you can stop them spotting in the first place. And the artist shot for my position, which, surprise surprise, it happens. That's the downside to this position here. This area here is not arty safe if the arty is sitting, as you can see, in that area, in the spawn point here or here. So it's not really arty safe where I was, but it's still quite good. Now the game is developing a bit. I've seen a lot of tanks in the bridge, a lot in the south, and we don't have a lot in the south. And I see nothing in the north. And then, since I don't want to go down and fight the south, really, I decide to drive north to just make sure that nothing is coming up that way. Because usually I like to sit in the middle, where the Jagdtiger 88 is sitting, or that position you just saw me in, and then work the middle, but they didn't have anything besides an E50 in the middle. So I was like, okay, might as well just be a bit useful for the team and go up here. On the way up, I was counting how many tanks were spotted or not, because I don't have my spotting indicator mod, sadly. So I had to do a little head count, but from what I could figure, I could only meet 2 or 3 tanks, Jagdtiger 88 being included. So I slowly drive forward from corner to corner, just to make sure I'm not YOLOing around. And a Jagdtiger shows up. I bounce his low plate, because why not? Here I pull out to take a shot into his low plate, but I pull out so far that he can shoot my hull, so my turret is a bit useless. So I decide, fuck it, I'll load APCR so I can go through his upper plate instead. And here he pins my turret while I'm trying to shoot his upper plate. He shoots my observation device and do no damage, and now the CDC is to my rescue. And here I'm not poking out initially because the Jagdtiger was still looking at me. So it's like, okay, I don't want to take an unnecessary hit, because while this was going on I could see on the map that the team was caving in the south. Like, we have the bridge, like this is a quite weird situation. We have this area, like we have the road into their base, and we have pushed over the bridge, but we have nothing like in our base. They have this area here, so it's basically just cut across diagonally, which is a bit weird. But since I'm a Pershing, I drive back, because then I can sit up in this little mountain top here and help the IS-3 to shoot the T-54 and VZ 111. It's a bit laggy, I don't know why, but it wasn't laggy when I was playing it. It's just, again, replay being replay. And here, sadly, now our team is slowly crumbling. Like, we have tanks down in the middle, and they're dying, and tanks in the bridge are caught now across. I try to see if I can get a shot in this IS, but I can't. And I'm aware of the VZ. He just fired at me again. So this is not looking too good. It's 7-9. Which, yeah, is not good whatsoever. But now, one of the ISs, he managed to get across the bridge. So we have at least like 3 guys defending the cap now. Me and 2 ISs. And I think, let me just pause quickly. Okay, so I was about to say, I think the 2 ISs in base were platooned, but they aren't. So they're just coming back from his own goodwill. And now this IS-3 below me is getting hammered. I pull out, plant a shot into the VZ. I take follow-up shot. That somehow doesn't pen, I don't know. But I'm wary of arty, so I'm trying to move around a bit. But on the other hand, I need to kill this VZ, so I shoot and kill him. But now, I mean, it's not looking too good. They have RT, and we have, as you can see here, IS-3 on 1 shot, IS-3 on 2 shot, and then 1 on 1100 health. So I mean, it's not looking too good. And here I was just checking that they weren't going up behind us. This T-54, as you can see here, I saw he was coming up, or he was moving this way, so I was just making sure he didn't YOLO up behind me, like at least not initially. So I couldn't see him, and I decided to turn around because I noticed the Indian was spotted down below me, so I can shoot him instead, a lot easier. So I moved back up. And now one of our IS-3s is holding off an IS-6. An Indian is spotted, but I managed to shoot him, and he managed to shoot me as well, which is a bit unfortunate. And then on the minimap I noticed the T-54 behind me. I take a shot from him, plant one into him, and then I just cliff dive. But I do it with control, so I don't track myself or anything. I just drive down and get around. And I hit a T-54, tracking himself, so that gives me a bit more time. And then I'm pinging at these ISs to go like, come on, Hilfe, help me. So here I'm keeping this wreck between me and where the T-54 will come out. And here we go, the T-54 sees the IS-3, takes a hit from the IS-3, but kills the IS-3. But now the 54 is 2 shot for me, once. I think 2 shot. Or 1 shot even. Let me just check. Oh yeah, 1 shot, clearly 1 shot. And so I was like, okay, I'll take the hit and then kill him, like guaranteed kill him. I had APCR loaded so I could go through his upper plate, no problem. So now while this was going on, one of our IS-3s crossed the bridge and is now fighting the IS-6 and the Tiger. So I go like, fine, I need to flank these guys. And RT was still trying to click me. So I mean, I've been a bit lucky for RT not to click me. So I go up behind them, and in a second one of the ISs will start to ping me to tell me to go up behind them, which was what I was already doing. So I was like, yeah, no shit, Senor Sherlock. And I go over here, just pause. I push up this side because I'm hoping to, just in case their RT is sitting in base, this mountain will stop him from shooting me, compared to if I poke here. If you poke it there, you can be shot from back here. If you poke out here, you can't because of this mountain. So that's why I'm poking there. And then I spot the RT. And I aim, and I shoot him. He clicks, so I'm like, okay, fine, I'm safe. And I loop the shell over. But now I know I was spotted, so I'm expecting the IS-6 to maybe turn around. And there we go, he was spotted doing it, so I'm prepared. So now I'm pinging the map to tell the IS-3s to go in. I shoot once into the IS-6, I'm not spotted, so I just pull back. Try to prepare for another shot. Shoot, roll low. He fires and bounces off my side, which is really lucky, and now I'm just like, fine. And now the Tiger dies. So that last bit there was a bit of good fortune and bad fortune. Like, I should have killed him in 1 shot, I didn't, so that allowed him to shoot at me. But then he bounced me, so like supposed it evened out a bit. But yeah, then the IS-3s, they killed the Tiger. And yes, before any of you said, yes, I was spamming APCR in this tank, but the APCR is just so good, and the AP so bad, and the game so close, that I just decided to spew APCR around like a madman. Just so that's why I like to spam APCR in the Pershing. But this game shows what I put down as a good game. Like, I was moving around the map, helping different areas. I started in the middle, spotted a bit there, shot the T-71, moved back into the north, fought the Tiger 88 off, pulled back into the middle, helped the ISs, made sure the T-54 didn't come up behind me, shot them more, killed an Indian Panther. 54 comes up behind me, I drop down, I move over, I get help, we kill the 54 together, and then I flank around and finish it off. And I get a top gun, which is always satisfying. So this is another case or a different example of what I characterize as a good game. Like, where I feel like I was a key contributor to my team winning, and it was not just by sheer sitting in one area and damage farming like a madman, but actually to work with your team, move around the map, fight different angles, change position, retreat, fall back, advance again, counterattack, all of those fancy stuff. So I mean, yeah, a good game overall. But yeah, so now you've seen 2 different good games, and I hope you enjoyed watching them. Hopefully it gives you an insight into what I like to see from a World of Tanks game, like what I characterize as a good game, instead of just a ROFLstomp. So yeah, If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask away, and if you liked it, like it, and so on and so forth. And as per usual, I'll leave the post-game screenshots after I'm done talking, so you can see how I did. I think I did decently, 1200 XP and base XP, and 6 kills, 2.7, 2.6 something, 2.5, whatever, K damage. So nothing spectacular per se besides the Top Gun, and even that's not spectacular. So, but it was a fun game. I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed the STA game beforehand. So yeah, I thank you all for watching. I hope to see you on the battlefield, and if not, then hopefully I'll see you for my next video, whatever that may be. So yeah, see you next time, and bye bye.